My name is Dr. Priestley King. So we are in that session of poem writing and also listening to the poem I wrote years ago. I wrote a few poems, and these poems were inspired by what was happening at the time, how I saw the situation. And I told you before that writing a poem is basically based on inspiration. You can't just write poems if you are not inspired. So as with essay writing, poems are even more sort of inspirational as compared to essay writing. So if you want to learn how to write essays and prepare for English exams, you can look at my YouTube page. I've said so many things about essay writing. I've read some of the introductions I wrote about some essays while I was preparing for English exam. If you're a university student as well, you want to learn how to write your dissertation, your essays in the university or college, as they call it in the US. If you want to learn about all of that and also learn how to write your introduction for your dissertation or your thesis or how to write the whole thing, you can go onto my YouTube page, Dr. Priestley King, and look at some of the videos I made in the past. So the last time I read to you one of the essays, one of the poems I wrote years ago. I'm going to read to you the first one I actually wrote. So the first time, the first inspiration I had, I didn't know I could do it. I just sat down and then I started writing. And I'm going to read that to you today. So this poem was inspired by what was happening in Nigeria at the time about the lawless situation where security agencies would go into the courtroom to abduct an individual. And this thing was wrong. So many lawyers at the time didn't find it funny because, according to them, the presence of the courts anywhere around the courtroom is actually sacred. You are not allowed to abuse people's rights, for that matter. Not to talk of going inside the courtroom to abduct somebody. And they went further to say that that is why even those who are standing criminal trial, when they get to the court, and I've seen that as well, even in the United States, when they get to court, they take off the chains from their hands and legs or whatever thing they are, because they believe that in the courtroom you should be free, and that is where justice should be the order of the day. You cannot go into the courtroom and violate people's rights. It's akin to committing sacrilege. So at the time I was inspired to write this. Of course, this is not just limited to a particular country or a particular group of people. It's something that will resonate with so many other countries, irrespective of where they are, where injustice is the order of the day, or there's lawlessness in the society. It may not be a country, it may be a city, it may be an association, it may be a community. So we must all strive to achieve justice at all times. It's often said that injustice anywhere is threat to justice everywhere. So that's why we need to strive to make sure we defend justice and we support it, we clamor for it at all times, irrespective of whether the person is our friend or enemy, as the case may be. Just make sure you strive for justice at all times. And the title of this very first one is A Lawless Country. So it's not just one country as it's lawless. Find lawlessness in so many countries around the world. So I'm going to start reading the poem now. It was my very first. And I think I was truly inspired to put this together. So the title, A Lawless Country. O country, why are you desolate? Why are you clothed in ignominy? You sacrificed your conscience on the altar of greed and buried your glory in the cemetery of lawlessness. How can a lawless country thrive? I heard of how you were the pride of the continent, the future of the universe, with abundance of human and natural resources. Strangers heard of your beauty, and they were eager to behold. Kings, queens, emperors, and world leaders praised you to high heavens as they beheld the rising of your star. I heard how your citizens were proud to be called by your name. Your flag adorned houses in the cities, towns, and villages. The mention of your name brought a sense of purpose to your children. Students in the ivory towers would not trade their education in your citadel of learning for anything or anywhere in the world, not even in the white man's country. I heard, not even in the white man's country. I heard how your graduates got jobs without man no man. They were begged and enticed by excellent remuneration from employers. They were offered cars at the start of their employment. Salaries were paid on time without stories. They were paid living wage, and their pay could take them home. I saw water taps run endlessly for the benefit of your citizens. Electricity was almost stable. One could boast of about 20 hours a day. The price of fuel was affordable. 4 children per family were supported in schools and also supported in taking care of their medical bills. Federal and state secondary schools were the best in most states and cities. I saw only few private tertiary institutions. Country, why have you become an object of ridicule? Your pride vanished into thin air without nothing left. You bury your brightest and turn your best to nonentities. Your fathers and mothers warned and foresaw your downfall. You refused to hearken to wise counsel. Your shame has come upon you, while your children and friends watch from a distance. Your citizens escape to the land of the slave masters. They scorn you and gaze at you like a helpless and hopeless mother. They would rather die on the Mediterranean Sea than live inside of you. Your older children embezzle with impunity without a heart for the poor. Your youths have taken to Yahoo and Yahoo Plus in order to survive. You breed thieves, kidnappers, bandits, terrorists, and armed robbers effortlessly. The law enforcement agencies have become tools in the hands of the devil. They kill, maim, extort, abuse, and detain arbitrarily. You have become a replica of the Animal Farm by George Orwell, where all animals are equal, but some are more equal than the others. You have lost all the moral values you learned from your parents. You threw them away and you found them worthless, like Esau's birthright. Your worst enemies are those who challenge you to be better. You have criminalized the quest for an egalitarian society, and demand for justice has become an illegality. Right within you, your rulers and elites oppress your own children, and they forget that power is transient. You celebrate mediocrity in the name of federal character. Your best can never attain their full potential. When they escape from your overbearing influence, they suddenly become the best and trailblazers in another man's land. Country, your time is ticking. Repent and make your ways right before it is too late. You are scared stiff of the word revolution when it is just around the corner. Your human and natural resources lie in ruins, untapped, with a very bleak future for your citizens. O country, where is your glory? Ravaged and buried by the vultures within you. Retrace your steps and return to the virtues handed to you by your fathers, so that you can escape the impending doom. A word is enough for the wise. So that's the poem, my very first one. I wrote the poem and I've told you the context. So just, if you want to write, just sit down. Hopefully you get inspired. This was written in context of a particular country, and you can write your poem in maybe it could be something you have seen, a building, a painting, or whatever it is that inspires you. You can put pen to paper and put things together. I want to thank you so much for listening to this. I want to thank you for watching my videos. I hope I'll see you in the next one. I'll be reading another poem next time. Before I tell you a story about myself, who have been asking me to do that, and I'm going to do it. But at this time, I'm just reading these poems that I put together years ago. Hopefully I have more inspiration to write more. Thank you so much. My name remains Dr. Presley King. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye.